Hi there, and welcome to Let's Slow Down, a podcast for all of you who feel tired and stressed from this overwhelming world. Here we'll have fun, inspiring conversations about living life on our own terms and explore ways to ease the pace of our modern world, because life really is good when you're relaxed enough to be present for it. I'm your host, Anne-Marie Stolting, and I welcome you to this space where I hope to inspire you to slow down, because life is too short to let it go by in a blur. So take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy the show. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Slow Down podcast. My guest today is Adriana Shuman, and we are focusing on health and wellness today, which I'm super excited about. Adriana is a nutritionist, functional medicine, health and wellness strategist, pharmacist, author, and entrepreneur. She's the founder of Your Wellness Made Simple and author of The Light, and her newest book, which is coming out in May, it's called Live Well: Empowering Habits for Vibrant Health and Unstoppable Energy. Adriana has helped hundreds regain energy and build a life of vibrant health and lasting confidence, because everyone deserves to take charge of their well-being, which I could not agree with that more, Adriana. So welcome to Let's Slow Down.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I'm so happy to be here and so grateful that you have a podcast that is inspiring and empowering people to slow down.
Thank you. We are trying. We're trying to learn from experts like you. I love your company's name, Your Wellness Made Simple, because I feel like wellness is just this area. I mean, it's huge and it's complicated, and people can get overwhelmed and just confused as to where to begin. So, why don't we start with you sharing your personal health journey and your transformation and what led you to your company and writing this book, Live Well, and all of it?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Slovakia and left the country when I was 26 years old, and my life was anything but slow. It was really fast paced because it was a very violent home, a lot of unpredictability, a lot of fear. And my dad was very violent, and my mother was dealing with the unhappy marriage, drinking. So every day protecting herself in ways that were not really serving her or me and using me as her shield. So my childhood was really messy. It's a lot of stress. And as a child, I didn't get the love and protection and safety and predictability that the children need. So it felt really chaotic and fast. And on top of that, also, even though the food that my mom made every day was homemade, it was unhealthy. It was a lot of sugar, fried foods, and a lot of mold in our house, drinking city water. So it was just toxin after toxin after toxin. And it left me really sick with a lot of just immune issues and then watching my family members dying from cancer painfully. And it really happened when it was kind of a gift. Speaking of slowing down, went through all this turmoil that was happening to me every single day of my life. The only time that I could separate myself from it was to leave my apartment and go for walks. And those walks made me slow down. That's when I would actually be able to spend some time with myself, slow down, and really feeling my body, paying attention to my thoughts, and really connecting to myself. And I realized that I really am not going to live this way. I refuse to live miserable, painful life the way my parents are living and having chronic diseases the way I watched my family members going through. So I kind of became a warrior, I guess, just by nature and not accepting life like this. So after university, pharmaceutical university, where I learned about the conventional medicine and I understood that it's really not my path either because I really want to be helping people heal. And this is not the way I am helping anyone. I mean, medicine is obviously important, right? It saves lives, but it doesn't create health. So that's when I felt that little inner nudge that I have to leave the country to break the cycle. And there's something else I'm supposed to do. This is not my purpose to stand behind the counter and give out medication. So right after university, I left the country, came to United States, and started my healing journey. And since then, I've been on my healing journey on my own and diving deep into functional medicine, regenerative medicine, biohacking, call it whatever, but it's really learning about your body and your environment and what fuels health and what fuels disease and practicing those things and started to guiding people to sustainable health since 2008. I've been doing this, not specifically coaching, but I had different kinds of businesses where I focused on doing workshops and selling different kinds of products that were environmentally friendly and so forth. And I ended up here just solely focusing on coaching, doing workshops, and writing a book.
That's amazing. That's quite a story and quite a journey. I mean, how old were you when you came to the United States?
I was 26. Yeah, I
Okay.
was 26. I had no English, no money, and it was just sometimes you just have to dive into the ocean and just learn how to swim.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wow. Very brave. You certainly were a warrior. Still are. I love listening to your story. You said, I refuse to live like this any longer. And I think that that is just so important. And I think it's something we forget no matter what the circumstance is. Most of us have that choice to make some changes, to make big changes like yours, or lots of little ones that really will change the trajectory of where we're going, change our path. And you said you weren't going to accept it any longer. I really commend you because I don't think that that's easy. I think it's really hard. And then to actually act on it. First, you have to, it's that mindset where you have to actually come to terms with it. Then you have to do something about it, which you did. And
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
that's amazing. And I feel like I always try to remind myself and people listening that we do have choices, and a lot of this is within our control to change. We have to just get intentional about what do we want? What do we want life to look like? What do we want our health to feel like? And make the changes, even though a lot of them are can be really hard and can feel like sacrifices in our life, but are certainly entirely worth it in the end of the day. Because if we don't have our health, we really don't have anything.
You
Can't do
don't.
anything else.
Yeah, and you're right. And it is hard. It's extremely hard. But I think with all the adversities that I had in my life, the gift of spending time on my own myself because I did not have anyone to talk to. My parents didn't care about anything that I had to say, obviously. And there were no resources at that time during communist country. I had no therapist or whatever. I was just be by myself. And I think that was a gift. And I teach people to do that now, how to slow down and how to know what you're supposed to say yes to and no to. So through this really painful childhood, I received this gift that I can give to other people because that is truly the only way that you can know what is meant for you and what you're supposed to do. And that is what pushes you. It's almost like it's not, I tell people it's not a decision that I made. It just was coming through me and it might sound like, oh, what is she talking about? It's just when you're spending time alone without any distractions, call it your soul, universe, God, whatever, but it's really just coming through you. It's your unique body is telling you what you're supposed to do if you listen. It's not just magic with some kind of voices, it's you. So I think that was the gift where it's like I'm not living this way. It was so clear. And it was just the only thing that I had to do is figure out a way how to do it because I didn't speak English, I didn't have money. I had few friends who spoke English. And so they basically filled out all the paperwork and they did everything for me. I sold my car and I was on my way. And I think once you come to the place where you're very clear on what you're doing is not working, you need to get it's like it's easy said, don't be in fear. Of course there is fear. But if you feel in your body that this is your yes, like you have to, like for me, it was I have to leave, then all you do 24/7 is you're doing things towards that decision, consciously, subconsciously. But if you're constantly questioning and you're having all these conflicts, then it's going to be a lot more difficult. So you have to come clear first. And there is no change that has been easy. for anyone. Change is always hard because we can't see what's on the other side of the bridge. And you have to take that first step. And I tell my 17-year-old daughter, and I know you have kids, you have a teenager, is all I'm asking you to do when an opportunity comes and you have fear and you don't know and you're overthinking it, just take the first step. Just open the door, take the first step into the door, look around and see. And nobody is going to make you do something you don't want to do. And if it's not it, just get out. If it's it, you will know right away and just keep walking.
That's a great lesson to teach her and for all of us to think about. Sometimes I know, myself included, we, like, overthink what that next step's gonna be or, like, which door. So, by just taking a little bit of action, test the waters, and know yourself well enough, which I think comes with slowing down. If you're too distracted, you don't know what's your thought, what's coming from the outside, what's you being just stressed out or overwhelmed. But when you can come from that place and you're kind of calm and like you said, you're focused, you are clear-headed with where you wanna go, I think you'll know pretty quickly
Oh, yeah.
as you open that door, is this right or not?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think we just have to, as you're saying, like, just listen to your gut, your intuition, listen to that. It's guiding us. So if something really feels like you are forcing it and it's so hard, like, it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be so hard that every step of the way is a struggle. So in slowing down for me, I've learned to sort of lean into things that better suit me, that are more aligned, and that helps. It helps a lot. Things can still be challenging at times, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
life is.
Line.
Yep. But makes a big difference.
You can make it harder on yourself or easier on yourself. If you're coming from
Exactly.
your inner truth, what feels right, you're gonna make it easier on yourself, and even though it's a little bit difficult, but or you can make it really difficult for yourself and push yourself to exhaustion or doing things that you really are not supposed to do, but you think you really wanted, your ego, your mind, the
Mhm.
ego mind or the body heart, right? Which one is really directing your path every day? And it's never gonna be perfect. I have to check my ego mind all the time too, but then I know if I make decisions from that place, it's not something that's meant for me and it's going to be really difficult. And it doesn't matter if it's personal life or business or family, whatever, health. It's every health challenge that I've had was much easier to get through when I was listening to my body, whether it was which doctors to talk to, listening to what they're saying and paying attention to my body, how my body is responding to what they're saying and choosing the right supplements or lifestyle, whatever. Like the body is involved in everything and wants to be involved in all the decisions. And if we let it, the path is going to be much easier or simpler than if we don't.
We forget that our bodies are made to heal themselves, and they're made perfectly, and I think a lot of our choices, whether it's food or environment or stress, all of it, all of the above. I know you have your 4 pillars we can talk about, but we're fighting it, right? Like, we're making it harder than it has to be by inflicting these things on ourselves.
Yeah.
So, as you're
Yeah.
saying, really trying to let the body lead the way, it really can make our life easier because it's trying to tell us, and some of us sometimes we're just a little too stubborn.
We think, no, we know better.
Yeah, no. What? It's gonna win at the end of the day anyway. It's whether
Yeah.
we how long are
Yeah.
we gonna put up with that situation, right? And it's still gonna happen. It's calling the shots whether we like it or not.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I tell people if you continue to fight with nature, you're just gonna delay the process. The nature is always going to win. Like, I'm sorry, the light regulates your hormones, whether you like it or not. And if you're gonna be doing all these things against it, you're gonna be the one suffering. So why don't you just go with the nature and everything is gonna be much easier? And I know this sounds like, oh yeah, right, that's so easy. No, it wasn't easy for me either. This took many, many years for me to
Mhm.
here, but I am here today. And because I have gone through it, and now I'm guiding other people, my clients, to go through it. I know it's possible. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's not that it's easy, but it's possible. And when you make the choice to go through your life, listening to your body and going with the biology, then you'll be like, oh, yeah, I get it now. It is so much simpler and easier. And I am glad I did it.
Yep. We complicate almost everything. I do believe that. At least I know I do sometimes.
Mhm. We
I
all.
think we all do, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, 2 things. You were talking about what fuels health and what fuels disease. I wanna kinda dive into that, and also, I took this is a quote from your book. You were talking about what it means to live well, and you said to live well is to live a fulfilling and satisfying life characterized by strength, happiness, and overall well-being on your terms, which I absolutely love. You say to live well encompasses physical, emotional, and mental wellness. This means practicing healthy lifestyle habits, building positive relationships, personal growth, and self care. And how do you do that? And you say the first fundamental step in living well is shifting your mindset from disease prevention to health creation. I love that so much. It's just
Thank
a wording thing, but it makes you think so differently. So, let's just talk about that because I think we often are just all like, "Oh, I have this ache and pain," or "I'm not sleeping good," or whatever. Everybody's tired. Everybody's doing too much. Everybody's exhausted. We talk about that, but let's talk about creating the good health, creating the
Yeah.
just focusing on the positive and focusing on what we want to have rather than maybe what we're feeling at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And you just said that everything is about mindset. Your health starts in your mind. It's not what you think that you are overweight or you have high blood pressure or blood sugar or you have joint pain. It really starts in your mind. And most of the time, I find there's really three reasons why people are stuck in the mindset of creating disease is because they're waiting for the perfect moment. Someday, one day, when my kids go to college, when I finish this job, when I move, when I have more money, and this perfect moment is never going to come, and you're just delaying, and your health, the things that you're doing obviously every day are not serving your health. So, more time you are spending in that lifestyle, harder it's going to be to turn it around. So, perfect moment is number one. Number two is believing that health is out of your control and becoming complete passive participants in health because it's my DNA, it's aging, it's normal. Everybody around is suffering from something or something else. And my parents had all these issues and there's nothing I can do. So that's another one mindset shift again. And number three is not having the right support. And I emphasize on right support because I know so many people are searching for support, whether it's YouTube videos or nutritionists, doctors, trainers, whatever. Like they truly are. So many people are, but they're not finding the right support. And that's the key word. Really, somebody who is going to be interested in you. He's going to have the scientific background, the knowledge, but also approach it in holistic way so they can help you specifically. Just like I say in the book, it's really on your terms. And living well is really, what does it mean to you? It means something else to me. It means something else to you. I want different things in life. I live well when I am doing these things and feeling these kind of feelings, but it might be completely different for you. So shifting the mindset from disease prevention or from I need to lose weight, I need to get rid of this high blood pressure, shifting it to what do I want to gain? And just just having the mindset of I want to gain this is completely going to it's going to change the path that you're going to be on to create the health and knowing that you are in charge of your health. You cannot give somebody else power over your health. It's not really doctor's job to make you healthy. It's nobody's job. It's your job. You take care of your bills. You take care of your kids. You take care of all these other things. When it comes to health, it's like, well, I don't know. Nobody taught me. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because it's really, really clear roadmap that covers a whole health as a whole system instead of separating things into different categories where I tell people it's just like a seed of an oak tree. If the seed has to grow into a beautiful oak tree, it needs soil, sunlight, and water. You can't separate one from the other. If you have toxic soil, it doesn't matter how much you water and how much sunlight it gets, it's not going to grow. So the separation of system it doesn't work. So it's really check in your mindset and what your beliefs are and shifting that to a mindset that is actually going to serve you to create the health that you desire.
So important. And it can be so tricky. I'll use my daughter as an example. She is 16 and she suffers from migraines. And we've been on this for a couple years now, this journey of trying to figure it out. And you were saying trying to have the right support. And it can be very challenging with our traditional health system. And I'm obviously doctors are amazing. My father's a retired doctor. Doctors are great, but our healthcare systems just it can be really hard to navigate sometimes, and you see one doctor for one particular thing, then you see somebody else for a different ailment, and like you said, it's holistic, it's one they're all working together, but we treat everything like its own separate little entity, and I think that's where we're really dropping the ball because at the end of the day, all of these things are part of us, right? So if we just fix, like, the arm, we don't fix the rest of the body,
Yeah.
and so I love what you're saying, and I love that you're trying to educate people and giving them resources because it can be very confusing out there in this
Yeah.
world.
Very unnecessary to be that confusing. And now having an access to all the outlets, it's really hard to know who to trust too. And
Yeah.
every client that comes to me is they have already done so much research and done all that work just from watching all the media, and they're still not achieving anything. And I'm always wondering why didn't you just pick up the phone a year earlier? Like, what is it with us humans that we think we can do it alone when these people, like for example, for me, it took me 2 decades. Like, how do you think that you can do this alone watching YouTube videos when you are a teacher or you're a builder or you're a real estate agent, whatever? Like, how do we? This is that mindset shift to like, how? Like, if I have to have my computer fixed or we're building a house or whatever, I'm not gonna think I can do it alone. I'm not gonna watch YouTube videos, right? I'm gonna get the right right support. So
Exactly.
it's like
Exactly.
it's just a very interesting thing. And I just overthink things and go deep because it's really painful to me to see people in a position where it's already so bad. Their health is, it's been just struggling for so long. And now they're at the place like, I don't want to wait anymore. Just like, let's fix it fast. Well, no, the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take. And also depending who you are or your age and many other things. But that's why I tell people just don't wait. Health doesn't wait, and it takes years to develop diseases, and it's not worth it. Just pick up the phone. I have a great example. You're talking about your daughter. My daughter, she was 8 years old. Since she was 6 years old, she struggled with skin rashes all over her body from face down to her toes, just patches of red dry skin. Her hands were bleeding. I was looking for doctors for 2 years. We were going from chiropractors to skin doctors to this doctor, that doctor, naturopath. Everybody was promising me they can heal her. Everybody was giving me potions and medications and all this stuff. I didn't give her anything because there was something inside of you telling me nobody is asking why she's having these. They're all just trying to get rid of what they see on her skin, but nobody is actually trying to figure out why is happening. And having the background that I have, obviously, I was doing the research, I was reading and reading and reading. And then finally, this is where the right support comes in. I finally found a doctor, flew her to Massachusetts, and we figured out exactly what was going on, doing the right testing. I'm huge on testing, and it's in my book, which tests to do. And with testing, we figured out her some genetic mutations, and what she needed. And literally within few weeks, her skin was completely clear and she's doing amazing, living a great life. But you can't figure it out until you look under the hood and you really ask
Yeah.
the questions why.
Gotta find the right place to go, right?
There's always a reason. There's always a reason and there's always a solution. I believe that.
Yeah, I agree. As a side note, I when I was reading your book, I saw that you flew her to, Dr. Mark Hyman's center. I had
Yeah.
read a few of his books. I think he's great. So,
Yeah. That was at the beginning of his big, yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah.
started. It was 2000. When was it? 2007? It was like 2013 or something when we went up there, yeah.
I'm so glad that you were able to find that and that it helped her. And
Yeah,
that's
but
amazing that it helped her that quickly. That's actually
quick
incredible.
But that's what happens. When you
Mhm.
figure out the root cause, it happens fast. And I tell people just don't give up. Like
Yeah.
really do not give up. Just and also what I see with people, they have such a hard time saying no to their doctors and changing doctors. And you have to. That's your health. You don't have to commit to a doctor or anyone if it doesn't work for you. You just move on to the next. I have so many stories. I don't want to bore people with stories, but I just had a back surgery, emergency back surgery in October, and my nerve got really damaged in my leg, and I lost a feeling in part of my leg. And I've been going to all these PTs and trying to figure out what to do. And everybody's telling me you have to wait a year. It takes a year. It takes a long time for nerves to heal. And I just again there's something like, no, I'm not gonna accept this. And I finally found a PT literally last week. Yes, I have to pay her more money. Insurance is not gonna cover it. But in one session, she found exactly what was going on in the spine where I had the surgery and she released it, and uh, my feeling is completely back. One session.
Wow.
And I have so many stories like this where I know it takes time and I know it takes the resources, but I can't imagine if I didn't do what I did, where my daughter would be today, where I was going to be with my leg 10 years from now. Either way, you're going to be spending the resources and you're going to have chronic stress from having these health issues. So it's worth it. You just have to keep going until you find the right support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very inspiring to hear that you don't give up and that you are finding these solutions and that you're helping others do it too. Because this is really important work that you're doing. Really, really important. And I'm glad people know, hopefully are learning more about people such as you that are not willing to give up or just take the first prescription that comes their way kind of a thing. And actually, along the same lines, I have a friend who's a doctor, and we were just talking about this the other day, and she said, doctors really just want their patients to feel better. So don't feel like we're offended if you feel that what we're doing, we're schooled in certain things. So if she's like, if I am not able to help them or if they don't feel they're getting the help from me, she goes, I'm not offended if they go see another doctor. I want them to get well. I want them to feel comfortable and find what they're looking for. So she's like, nobody be offended. If they have to find another doctor, everybody has to do what's right for them.
Yeah.
So,
And I have to believe that too, that's why they're doctors because they want you to be better.
yeah,
So it's okay to say, this doesn't work for me, or for your health, for your body.
absolutely.
What else?
Absolutely.
So yeah, and we need to help each other, support each other, and talk about these things. Like you're providing this platform to talk about these things, so people can feel more empowered. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do that for myself. I mean, this is why community and connecting with people is really important.
So important. And I've been talking a lot about like self care and self love and things like that. And taking care of yourself isn't selfish. Don't feel guilty. I think so many, especially a lot of parents, a lot of moms out there, we feel guilty when we do anything for ourselves or if we have to take that time or if we have to. For me, sometimes it's like, sorry, I have to tell my kids, like, we can't do it all. Like, you're going to have to miss that. I just can't get you to all these places. I don't have the energy for it. We just can't do it all. Whatever it is, we have to stop feeling bad about it and just trust that we know what we need and we have to just honor it. And that if I can't do it all with my kids, well, at least then they're going to get a mom that's healthy and well rested and calm and grounded rather than try to run around and be stressed and lose your patience and just all the things that come with that.
Yeah,
So
teaching them how to slow down. It's good.
trying, not easy in this world.
It's not, but we have to do the things that are not easy. I realized after my daughter went to college how much I was doing exactly what you're saying. It was because I grew up in a household where I was told no a lot most of the time. There was never really time for me and nobody cared about. I had no one at home who would listen to me and do what I wanted to do. So naturally, I just wanted to do everything for my daughter. Like whatever she wanted to do, I just wanted to give her the best life I could possibly do. And I realized after she went to college, like, oh, I can breathe so much better. Like it's just she's very happy. Like we're talking before we got on call. Like she's only an hour and 15 minutes from my house, and we talk every day. And I go see her a lot, and we have incredible strong relationship. She's like mini me. I don't think she would like to hear that, but we have a good relationship. But still, it's just you have to have some kind of routines that will give you that space for yourself. And you said, yeah, it's not selfish, but I would say, and be selfish. Like, why are we putting this negative connotation on
Yeah.
this word? We're putting all these meanings on these words to make them be something that are not even that. Like who says? Like you just start questioning things and your beliefs and your stories and making time for yourself, whether it's 10 minutes every morning, 10 minutes every night, to even that's better than most people have nothing. Like they have no time for themselves. And that's
Yep.
what we ended up with health issues.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before, like, if you let life get too busy and too crazy, you blink and all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden you're sick, all of a sudden your kids out of the house, like, all of a sudden your life has just flown by and you don't even know what just happened, and
Yeah.
I feel we all deserve to be a active participant in our own life,
Yes, yes, yes.
but a lot of us are not.
So let's change
So,
it. Everybody listening,
everybody, yes, a
make
little
a decision
revolution.
today. I always, when I do workshops, I make people write down one thing that they're going to do today, not tomorrow, today. They have to write it down. They have to say it out loud. I don't know if they do it, but at least just like don't just listen and be here and spend now 2 hours listening to me and talking. Just make the decision, just one thing, do differently than you did yesterday or for the last 10 years.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that because there are so many things we can do right
Yeah.
this second. A lot of these things do take a long time, but there's a lot of little things that are instant and can make us feel better.
Yeah.
Along those same lines, I that's fantastic. I love that. I love when people can listen and end the episode and have a few things to just take with them and go implement right away. And in your book, you talk about your four-step methodology and you talk about movement, sleep, environment, and food. So, do
Mhm.
you think you could give us maybe one like simple takeaway for little tweaks we could make in each area or things to consider in each area?
Yeah, so the method that I developed over the decades of healing myself, doing the work, doing research, studying and testing it out it's a live well methodology. It's a circle that connects everything together, just like the soil, sunlight and water. We can't separate one from the other. So it's environment, that's your inner environment, what you're talking about on your podcast. And external environment, it's all the toxins coming from the world around us. Then you have food, eating real sustainable food, and then you have sleep and movement. And each of these areas, my book is basically broken down in each of these areas, and it guides you to really understand all of these areas and have strategies that are really simple to follow. You don't have to think much, just follow the map and gets you to a place where you can just choose one thing and from each of these pillars and then add another thing as you go along. And it's kind of a book that you just keep on your table and just keep going back to. It's not something that you read and put away, really. It's a lifestyle, lifelong book. So if you want examples from each of the pillars that somebody can do every day, for example, the inner environment, I teach people mostly to sit and release, I call it. Every morning, just sit down for 5 minutes, starts with 5 minutes with pen and paper next to you. And I know people want like, well, how do I do this? What are the rules? What are the structures? Just get out of your head, get in your body. There's not a right or wrong way to do this. It's just for us to slow down. And Marie's teaching you and feeling your body, feeling your heart. Whatever comes through you, whatever feelings, whatever thoughts are coming to you, that's why you have the pen and paper. And even if it's just to-do lists for today that you're thinking about ruminating over, write it down, get it out, release it, get it out. And I guarantee you, if you do this every single day for 5 minutes after you get up, no phone, nothing else, it's just you quiet, you're going to start noticing things coming through you, whether it's from your childhood or it might be good memories, hard memories that you'll have to process and release. And you're going to start feeling lighter and more connected and being able to slow down throughout the day or knowing, like, oh, I want to say yes to this. Oh, this doesn't feel good. So this is the very first thing that I teach people: sit and release. That's what I call it. The outer environment, it's about identifying and removing toxins. That one is a little bit harder because there's a lot of them. I assume most people have heard about plastics and they're disrupting our hormones. So if somebody's still having struggles with plastics, I would make sure that really there is no plastics in your kitchen, anything that's in your food, your utensils. When you go to coffee shops, bring your own glass or stainless steel jars. It's already scientifically proven that it disrupts hormones, and hormones are our messengers. When your hormones are messed up, the whole system is out of control, and it's like text messages are going all over the place and nobody's reading them anymore, and you don't know where they're supposed to go. So I would start there. With food, food is a message to your body fueling either health or disease. So I tell people eat fresh, sustainable food you can find in nature. What that means is focus on, instead of all these diets and all these new fads and whatever, focus on organic, sustainable food that you can find in nature. That means no chemicals, no hormones, no antibiotics, no pesticides. Just buy organic, sustainable foods as much as you possibly can. It is really not worth it to get all these synthetic poisons into our body because they're being stored in our fat tissue and causing a lot of issues. So that's what I would say with food. With sleep, having a consistent routine that ensures at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Consistency is key here. And having a practice. And I do teach, and when you actually buy the book, you're gonna get this incredible guide that every single pillar has to walk you through. Like for sleep, for example, I teach the dreams evening routine, and it's incredible. You just follow that. I also teach wise routine. It's a morning routine from my book. But if you just get the book right now and you get that guide right now, you're set. It's super easy to follow. For the movement is truly the best medicine, not just for the body, but for the mind.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. The endorphins, the serotonin. I can talk about the hormones, but it doesn't really matter. I teach these 3W. The first W is for walking. The second is for weights, some kind of weightlifting. The third one is winded, having some kind of intensive exercise once a week. But just moving. We're meant to move more than sit. And when you move, your energy changes, your mood changes, your microbiome changes, your everything changes. The way you look at the world changes. And really do, if you're not doing anything, just start with something that you love, whether it's jump roping, riding a bike, doing yoga, it doesn't matter. Just move. And the more you move throughout the day is better. It's not that 1 hour exercise a day and sitting for the rest of the day, but moving throughout the day. So those would be my tips. I hope they help.
Yeah, those are great, and I can personally can see the movement because I had a knee surgery last year, and I was pretty much stuck sitting for a while, and I was losing my mind. I just could not. I appreciate movement so much more now after going through that experience because it just my body needed it, but my mind needed it more than anything because I just felt like I was so trapped, and
Mhm.
I'll never take that for granted again, for sure. So,
You want people to get there to learn the lesson the hard way, right? So,
right, right.
yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you. But sometimes those experiences do make you stronger and they really do make you grateful. I'm so grateful for our health. And we were saying health is the number one priority. Like we can try to talk about all these other things, but they don't matter. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So this is so important for all of us. And thanks so much for talking to us about all of this today. And we really didn't even touch the tip of the iceberg. So your book's coming out soon in May. You can pre-order it. I will link it in the show notes, but it's a great guide and I would encourage everybody to take a listen, read it, whatever, however you do your books. But Adriana, thank you so much for being here. And I like to ask everybody at the end of the show what your favorite way to slow down is.
Mhm. My favorite way to slow down is doing my morning practice every morning. That is what I look forward to in the morning. And then in the evening, before I go to bed, I have a routine where I turn everything off at 8 p.m. and I go to my bedroom and I do a little bit of stretching, do breathing practice, specific breathing practice, and I go to bed. So I have this morning routine and evening routine, and I crave them. I look forward to them. It's part of who I am, it's my identity, and I really wish and I hope for everyone to have even small little routines in the morning and in the evening to see how it's going to transform their life.
I love that. It's amazing. I'm sure you sleep well having that before bed every night. Sounds good. Oh, thank you so much. This has been a really fun conversation. Where can everybody find you?
So they can find me on yourwellness-madesimple.com. That's my website. On Instagram as well. I'm not huge on Instagram. I'm trying, but it's not. I love the connection with people. That Instagram is hard, but I know it's important. So they can always find me on Instagram. I love talking to people, so people can DM me on my website. There's a bunch of free resources, and they can message me from there as well if they have any questions. And thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I love talking to you, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed our journey together. Please take a moment to rate and review the show. It really helps us grow and reach others looking to slow down too. Wishing you simplicity and ease in your world, and I'll see you back here next week.